Okay, so this is another video, another boxing hypothetical. Of course, we've got Manny Pacquiao fighting Barrios for the WBC welterweight championship, and I was doing a bit of a what if, thinking, what if Pacquiao wins the belt, right? I made another video about a rematch with Floyd. That's probably not going to happen, but there was rumours about it, so I made a video about it. But that got me thinking, okay, let's say Pacquiao wins the belt at 147, right? Or at 147, right? If it's not Floyd, if it's not Floyd who he fights, there is another big money fight there. Now, it's not at 147. In all reality, it'd probably be a catch weight. But that's against the unbeaten Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I know Tank is a lightweight for the most part. He fights at lightweight. But he has fought a super lightweight before, one time. And he beat Barrios, the guy who Pacquiao's going to be fighting. That was on 135. He's a small... that was at 140, sorry. He's small for 140. He's too small for 140. But for a one-off against Pacquiao, another huge money fight, say it's a catch weight for 143, 144. Pacquiao could get there. Right, Pacquiao's not a big 147 at all. Like I said, he's an 8-weight world champion. Pacquiao's a 140, 147 fighter. He really is a 147, but he's not big. Like I said, that's my point. He's not big for 147. He could probably make 144 a catch weight against the unbeaten Tank Davis. Now, because it's catch weight, I'm not sure how the governing bodies would do for the belts and stuff. But it was something that got me thinking because, of course, you've got Pacquiao, who's not big for 147, like I said, and Gervonta, who's even smaller than him. Right, and for a long time, he was the heir apparent to Floyd. He wasn't. His career's not turned out that way. He's a very different style of boxer. But for a while, he was. He was under Mayweather Promotions. And of course, no one's been able to stop Tank Davis yet. Of course, that being said, he is campaigning at the lower weight divisions. You know, worked throughout from, super featherweight, lightweight, one fight at super lightweight, at 140. But is for the most part a 135 fighter at this point in his career. But not big for 135 as well. That's the thing. Tank, he's not big, but he can pack a punch. Everyone knows Tank's packing a punch. But that's an interesting fight. Honestly, that's a really interesting fight because you've got, of course, Pacquiao, the veteran, who's seen it all at this point. And if he was to fight that fight, he'd be a 46-year-old world champion. That's a true wealth of experience. And again, he'd be the biggest guy Tank has fought. He'd be... I don't know if I'd say the most skilled. Probably the most skilled. No, probably not. I mean, not over Lamont Roach, obviously. Not over Lamont Roach. But yeah, Tank's fought a lot of top guys, to be fair, but Pacquiao's resume, like I said, Pacquiao will be the biggest guy he's fought and the best resume he's fought as well. And like I said, the biggest guy as well. I mean, Manny won a world title 154, right? Put a beating on Margarita. That was a long time ago, I know. It was a long time ago, but still. That's a really interesting fight. I don't know how it goes. I'm trying to work it out in my head. Of course, Tank's going to have the speed advantage, but Tank isn't a big thrower. And when you look at Pacquiao against other low-volume punchers, like an Adrian Broner, Pacquiao just outworked him for 12 rounds. That being said, Tank is a million times harder puncher than Adrian Broner ever was, even sub 135, when Adrian Broner was regarded as quite a big puncher and quite a dangerous boxer. Tank is far more powerful. So, of course, you've got rounds where Adrian Broner's only landing in like 4 punches against Pacquiao, but if Tank is landing those 4 punches clean, it's a different story. It's a different story. That being said, it really all depends on if he beats Barrios. Because if he can't beat Barrios, then he's got no chance against Tank. Different matchups, I know. No chance in that fight getting made, sorry. I'll put. No chance in that fight getting made, but who knows? Stranger things have happened in the sport of boxing, man. Stranger things have happened. Pacquiao could come back at 46, become a world champion, then fight Tank Davis at a 142, 143 catch weight, and maybe beat him. And maybe be the first person to beat Keith Thurman and Gervonta Davis. If he can do it, if anyone can do it, it's Pac-Man. Or Gervonta Davis steps in there. He does what he does. Maybe Pacquiao, shows some good engine early on in the fight and he's throwing a lot of punches. But sooner or later, Gervonta Davis finds the openings and just takes that chin and just sends him to the shadow realm. And at that point, that would be the end of Manny Pacquiao, because those sorts of shots that I imagine Tank would be landing on Pacquiao, because Pacquiao defensively isn't anything amazing. He's hittable, for sure. Especially when you've got a guy as fast as Tank and as powerful. You don't fancy Manny in that fight at all. But yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Do you think this fight could get made? If it does get made, what weight division do you think it'd be at? Do you think it'd be at 140? Do you think Manny can still make 140? I'd be curious to know what you guys think. But yeah, another episode of the Seth solo side quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.